Hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad, and today I have some very exciting news. So we had the Battle-Hardened Milwaukee, which will roughly put Zen at about 99% of the way there to LLing, which is a very exciting kind of thing to happen, especially as Pro Tour London is approaching. So there's kind of a little bit of a debate of whether or not he's even going to be able to kind of like see Pro Tour London at this point. But yeah, based on my guess currently, I think he's at roughly 991 points, which will basically put him at any he needs basically 2 ProQuests or any bigger event, and he'll basically be out of the format, which is very very cool. We also so this is actually kind of a special event because this was the team battle hardened constructed, which I think there was some debate whether or not there would be LL points given to this event because I think it was like a 150 person event, so I think that translates to roughly 50 teams because it's a 3 person team of classic constructed. And based on those 50 teams, I think that one of the teams had Naib kind of piloting Zen here, who basically was able to secure like another 25 points because it's a battle hardened one, right? So definitely kind of an interesting update to, I guess, the LL system to include like team events as well, which is kind of like different from like like the normal classic constructor format, but it kind of like still makes sense to some extent. But yeah, definitely very interesting. So Naib was able to actually kind of secure some more Zen points here. So we got, based on my current estimates, we're at 991. I think the current leaderboard says that we're at 961, but there's a pro quest that I think we confirmed with LSS that is getting added as well. That was on 315 that just didn't get added up until this point. So I think we're sitting roughly at 991, which is very, very cool. Yeah, but for today, I wanted to play a little bit more Zen just while he's still legal. We might not get another week or two or though, so might as well just, get some good games in while he's still legal, which will be hopefully a lot of fun. And yeah, no real updates to this deck. I think I'm kind of happy with where it's sitting. Like I might go up on like a pouncing key or something like some random ratio stuff, but like this, I think core is like very, very solid, I think. And we still wanted to test out our quick dodge flexors. These are in the board still, like I don't know. I haven't been like crazy impressed with them, but like I'm still kind of waiting for them to shine maybe against Aurora a little bit. We'll try to see if we can get another Aurora game with quick dodge flexors, even though I know y'all are probably sick of Aurora at this point. But I think testing into one of the better decks right now at least is definitely kind of worth it, especially when I'm kind of preparing for my upcoming Pro Quests, which I think I have 2 classic constructed Pro Quests that are the same time as PT London. So there's definitely a real shot that I could get the opportunity to kind of play him there. But yeah, for backup decks, I think Jarl is my current backup deck. I don't know if there are any other decks that I really enjoy playing as much as like Zen and Jarl right now. So might end up playing Jarl as well if he's not legal by then. So definitely helps to kind of back up. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a list for today. Let's go ahead and grab some games. All right, so we got a Dory. Dory is definitely an interesting matchup. So we'll still hedge, I think, for hatchets by bringing in the 2 cosmics. Then we'll cut our 2 blocks, and then I also kind of like cutting CNCs in Dory just because most of them do run Crown of Providence. So I could honestly see maybe like 2 wax offs here just as like an extra react in case we need to cover like a Dawnblade or whatever. I'm kind of okay with that. Let's try it like this. This is I think a little bit weird, a little bit different than I guess what I'm normally used to running, but probably still fine. All right, so I think we'll probably try our Arsenal to Wind Chakra, maybe get a little bit greedy and hope that we can use it as Transcend starter. We'll send 2 into 7 here, and then they're on Crown, so obviously our CNCs are definitely a little bit worse, but we'll at least probably strip their hand, or at least most of it. All right, get an Iron Song response out of them. It's pretty good. And then Arsenal or Chakra. Okay, so this is probably going to be a hand that is just looking to probably just let them have a Dawnblade counter. Because I think our hand is better than them getting a Dawnblade counter. All right, and we get to Whip and Embolden Blade too, which is also quite nice. Definitely a fan of that. All right, Warrior's Valor plus Iron Song Determination. So they get 6 on the first, or 7 on the first one, go again, and then they get +1. So we can actually block this if we block with the Mauling Key, which is actually like pretty efficient here. So I'm definitely very okay with this, and especially taking them off a 5-part hand is like very nice for us. So I'm definitely kind of excited that they did this, because this is pretty, like, it's pretty whatever Dawnblade, in my opinion. Go ahead and get to throw the Mauling Key in front of it. We can do Homage, Wind Chakra, 100 wins, end on levels, get like a 0 cost here maybe. But yeah, this ends up being very efficient for us. Right, so Wind Chakra Homage, gain a life, go back to 234, and then let the Wind Chakra resolve. And then I think we're just getting that 0 cost. So are we getting swipe here? We get to do 5, 3, draw a card. It's pretty good. I was thinking if like 100 Winds was better there, but I don't think it is because we wouldn't get the Shuka buff unless we get like blue 100 Winds. And then we can't get Winds of Eternity there either because we have the Chain Ender that we want to play. So I think this makes the most amount of sense. So that was Tiger Swipe. All right, seems like they're just going to double block this, which makes sense, but gives us a lot of tempo here. Draw a card, and they're on a 1-card hand, and 1-card Dory hands are like basically nothing. Probably just Arsenal Pass or whatever. And Arsenal Pass is actually like pretty good against this hand. But we do have like the Incan at least, so like we can kind of still salvage this a bit. We get to I think maybe just using like Pouncing Plus here to send Chase is probably worth it, and then we can just E-Strike draw a card. So yeah, it seems kind of okay to me. Probably should have obviously sacked the Pouncing Paws after playing the Chase the Tail, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot, I feel like. We just get to keep up the tempo here, try to keep them off cards, and then eventually we'll just try to like snowball them by redrawing into chi is kind of the goal. All right, so play out the Tiger, nice and efficient, and then E-Strike draw. All right, Cosmic is an interesting Arsenal target. Yeah, fuck it. We'll do it. We can kind of maybe do it. I don't know. This might be a little bit suspect, but at least our hands next turn is like pretty good. Probably good enough to give them another Dawnblade counter if they really want it. Yeah, no reason to block this. I feel like we're at the point of the game where we let Dory have her first Dawnblade counter, and then we just kind of race from here. Obviously, racing with the Cosmic and Arsenal is a little bit suspect, but like, it's like fine. So most likely have some kind of reprise trigger here. Could honestly throw 4 armor in front of it, and then like that basically will deny the reprise, and then we also get to keep Shuko around. It's kind of tempting, but it is a little bit risky. I feel like maybe just giving them the first Dawnblade counter is like fine. Because like losing Kasaya also kind of hurts us on our next turn a little bit, and like we don't need our chi next turn because we already have a chi, so I feel like just letting them have the counter here is fine. And then if they have like reprise or whatever, they can do like most of the time it's like coming in for a lot less value than if we block it, obviously. So they can at least make like a bigger token. So it looks like they have puncture, and then they're probably saving that to pay for something in Arsenal. So I'm assuming they have like at least a 1 cost in Arsenal based on how they kind of played that. But their hand was also like yellow heavy, so definitely a little bit weird. All right, let's go for the levels. Buff, and then do Drago here. What are we draw going into? Probably just a 0 cost. We could also do Buff Go. Buff Go might actually be better. Just because we already have an Arsenal, unfortunately. Yeah. So 6, 2, 1, 5, 5 is pretty good. Just a lot of damage. And then we still have Traverse up if we need it. Hopefully we get to resolve a nice little content awakening, as I like to call it, I guess. But they might be incentivized here to give us another card. If they give us another card, I think we're very happy with the 3-card Dory hand. Tends to be pretty easy. Like I think 5-card Dory hand is basically like impossible to block out. 4-card Dory hand is also kind of borderline impossible to block out. But a 3-card Dory hand is quite nice. But it looks like they're keeping a 4-card Dory hand, which also maybe just incentivizes me to let them have another stupid Dawnblade counter. They still have a decent chunk of armor left. Well, I guess not anymore. But they're at functionally, what? Functionally 12 now? So I think we should be able to weather the storm a little bit here. All right, commanding performance, we don't really care about because we obviously have the Cosmic in Arsenal. So coming in for 7, most likely trying to pop their fraction here. think we will maybe just give chi here, or give some armor here. Give a little bit of armor and then sink below, and then maybe, depending on what they do, try to cover the next swing. But I think we'll at least try to contest it here. So we'll grab our chi. They do have the Blade Flurry, pretty solid here. So we'll go ahead and sink this still, I think. Or actually, sorry, we probably don't want to sink this. Probably just sink the next on Blade Swing and keep them off 2 counters, maybe. That probably makes more sense. Alright, they will give that, and then... So I'm predicting they have a 1 cost in Arsenal. They're also opting to not... They're not paying into the grains here, which means they're probably holding up 1 cost. So I guess now is probably the opportunity to just give them the counter, sink here, and then just try to kill them. So we'll sink here. I think we're getting rid of 100 wins to try to find something better, because like the 100 wins are not really doing a ton on this hand. Could be good if we like tutor for 100 wins, so we do 100 wins, 100 wins, 100 wins, but it's still like basically only getting +3 off this. So I feel like I'd rather try to fish for something better. All right, I guess red 100 wins is technically better. Sure. Yeah, this is fine for me. So I think the tutor target here is just going to be Winds of Eternity. We do 2, 1, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 5, which is really nice. Shuffling back the 100 wins is not necessarily ideal, but it's okay, I think. And then, yeah, we'll grab the wins. I guess, like, mauling is also... I guess mauling is mauling 1 more damage. We do 3, 3, 1, 5, basically 6 versus the Winds of Eternity. It might actually be better. Obviously, it feels good to play Winds of Eternity, but, like, mauling often is just, like, more efficient. Wait, sorry, we shouldn't play this here. We should 100 wins first, and then 100 wins, and then play the Mauling Key, obviously. But yeah, I think threatening 1 more damage here is important. It might actually make a substantial difference if we can like take them off an extra card here. Although if we do 4, 1, 6, presumably, then yeah, I think that demands exactly 1 more card. Because they block 2 on here, take 2, take 1, take 6. That demands... Yeah, I think that demands a card. If we don't do that, then it doesn't demand a card. Yeah, the Cosmic Arsenal was definitely maybe a little bit suspect, but like you'd be surprised how often you can play a Cosmic even against just like random stuff. Like even if you play for 10, it's like kind of okay. We did have Traverse up at the time, so it's a lot more likely we'd come in for like 15 or whatever. But I still probably stand by that decision, just because like getting out of the hand so we draw better cards is nice. Alright, Unsheathed. Sure. We could realistically just throw everything in front of this. But we also don't like need to because we're presenting 2 and 1. I guess they can block with like grains next turn. Maybe just taking it off like 2 counters here is like fine though. Take a reset turn. So I'm assuming that they have a 1 cost in Arsenal, like a Singing or something, in which case we can still block 4 of that. So they would need like double Iron Song here, which I don't think is realistic based on what they've been representing. Or did they get a new... Did they play out whatever card was in their Arsenal last time? I can't remember. They might have. But yeah, I think this is fine. This might not be the same Arsenal that we've been playing around all game. Alright, it seems like it was a Singing Steelblade anyway, so... I'm assuming that this is going to be 4 here. They could have Route, which would also be, I guess, kind of good. We'll see what it is. Okay, they're going to opt for the Twinning here. Pretty solid. So they get to attack again, keep both counters. It's a pretty good answer. So does this... What is this coming in for next, I guess? They get to keep the counter here. We block the next thing. Yeah, Twinning was actually a really good answer there. So yeah, I guess this is fine. So we let this hit, they keep the 2 counters run anyways, and then we just... Or I guess they keep both counters now. Yeah, maybe I'm not super happy with the way I played this, but it's maybe okay. I guess I'll keep them off the Vigor token, maybe. Sure. It's fine here. And we'll just pass back. I think we can still kind of fight over the Stun Blade a little bit here, especially with the Wax Off. We can throw 8 in front of it. Throw 8 in front of it, and then we can also just throw an additional 10. I'll make him work for it, honestly. Yeah, overpower will not do it. So now we just get to reset, and then we can hopefully try to draw towards something better than just an all blue hand. Kind of okay with this. So now the Dawnblade is completely reset. We draw into Chase Tail plus Aspect. So I think this will basically signify the end of the game here. But yeah, they definitely had that one turn that we didn't play around Twinning Blade, I guess. But like it was still kind of fine. So yeah, here we'll just let them have it. No reason to block. There might be a reason to block, I guess, after this. So what's the only card that can kill us here is like I don't think there is actually a card that can kill us here. I think 0 for 3 is like the best story can do. So like if this is like Iron Song, which they can't play if it's not reprised, then it doesn't really matter. So I think we just take it here and then we just kill them on the crackback. I think maybe like giving up tempos a couple turns, like debatably correct. We did have like a decent life buffer though, so I feel like fighting over the Dawnblade was maybe worth it. I don't know. You'll have to give us like a full card here and then card on Tiger, or not a card on Tiger, armor on Tiger. Still like fine here. Grab a Chase. So this eats the grains, then this will eat either react or 2 cards, and then this will eat card, react or 2 cards. Pretty good spot to be in. Yeah, seems like we basically got him here. So I think that one turn, like we could have maybe tried to like get greedy and go for a kill, like with that I think all blue hand that we try to block out with the wax on there. But I still think like just throwing a bunch of cards in front of Dory is sometimes like a good enough strategy to work if they just can't push over. Which even on like 2 counters, it's sometimes a little bit difficult for them to push over. But yeah, we'll give them a good game. They're also running CNC, which is kind of interesting. It's not something I think I normally see in Dory decks. They did have the route as well, which could have been potentially scary on that turn. Oh, is Singing Steelblade able to get route? Hold on. Yeah, you can get route with Singing Steelblade, so they did have the option to do it there too if they wanted to, but I guess like swinging another time with Dawnblade is also pretty good. Yeah, so I think that was a pretty good Dory game. Again, Dory I think is like generally quite easy, even if you don't have like the reacts in the sideboard to necessarily deal with her. But yeah, I think that in general, even just throwing a bunch of block cards to take them off like 2 counters is kind of okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get another here. All right, so we got a Florian. So I think I generally like to go second in a Florian. All right, give him a good luck, have fun. And then I think in general, into Florian, we just bring in our Cosmics and then swap out our Wax Off. So I think we're running roughly like 32 blues or something, which is okay with me. And then just running a very aggressive configuration. You'd be kind of surprised how often you can also resolve Cosmic, even into stuff like Florian. It's just like a solid blue 3-block. I think one thing to maybe talk about is like why I don't run AB into Florian. And I think it's just like generally pretty inefficient to do so. Like if you're ever ABing into Florian, you're kind of losing anyways for the most part. Like his arcane damage is a lot more like it's often just like more than a lot of like it's more his split damage is like more than like paying for the AB is like able to deal with it a lot of the time. All right, so here we got some choices. I think we might just do 3 into 2, 5. Just try to cycle to draw a card. They face Purgatory us this early. I think I'm maybe okay with that. Could definitely hurt a little bit if they do that though. I think it's better than like doing 7. Sorry, whoops. Let's not do buff. Let's do yeah, let's do draw here still. It's definitely like a little bit scary if they do opt to face Purgatory this. But it is a pretty early one. And they do have like heroic out, so like maybe they don't want to do that. I don't know. Definitely maybe interesting to see what they do here. We do draw a Transcend card, which is nice if they don't face Purgatory us. But, like, they don't know that, obviously. Alright, this hand is very, very good. So it looks like they're going to make a Rune Chant here. Flourish. And send in the Rune Rager, which will come in for 8. It's pretty decent here. But I don't think we really care. Let's take some damage because our hand's kind of bonkers next turn. Alright, so they will get to keep the Heroic around for another turn, which is pretty solid for them, but we get to send in a CNC at them, which will notably not do anything, but it is at least still 6 damage. So yeah, I think this is fine. We could also try to give the CNC go again, but that doesn't really make any sense, does it? Yeah, I think it's probably fine here to just start with the levels, because like we're getting the maximos out of it anyways. So we're getting a resource. Activate Zen. We might have wanted to actually keep the Harmony there, because then we can get the other Tiger for Chase. Yeah, that was probably better. So let's all draw go on this, and I guess what are we getting instead? We can get Breed here's maybe an option. Yeah, I feel like saving that Harmony Hunt might have been correct. I don't know if we still get the opportunity to chase the tail if we do that. We'll do buff draw. Alright, we find an Incant, which is at least nice, but a little bit late, I guess. Like, we obviously didn't know we were drawing into that. So if we close Chain Play Incant, we make a second Tiger. Does that really do anything? It's basically like 1 damage, like this is 1 damage, right? So maybe just holding this back or holding this for pitch is like fine. I don't know. I feel like you're gonna play this turn a little bit better, but it's still probably gonna work out. Do 2, 1, 4, 1, another 1, and then finish on CNC, which is notably not gonna do anything, but still is fine. Alright, send another 1, and then finish on 6. Still a very high damage turn, but I think that we could have done a little bit more damage there if we didn't pitch the Harmony Hunt and maybe just like played it with Chase and then maybe not Kakara it or something. I have to think about that turn a little bit more. But this should still be fine for us because presumably they're going to try to get some last remaining value out of their Heroic here, and then we're probably going to be able to snap back with a Traverse block. All right, hand's a little bit awkward. It might not actually be going for an attack this turn. Interesting. I feel like we'll just do like go again here. Could definitely get Purgatory though. If we do get Purgatory, I guess we just Arsenal the CNC then. It's not really the end of the world. We'll just discard like a blue 100 wins. Like we still got a pretty sizable tempo lead here, even if we lose the 100 wins. I think it's like fine. If we don't lose the 100 wins, then we're kind of safe from face Purgatory, so I think it kind of works out for us either way. They've also not decomposed at all, which is quite nice, so their well grounded is kind of useless right now. Might make blocking this a little bit harder if they just have to throw like 6 armor in front of it, which is probably not ideal. But they give us 2 cards here, I think is also kind of fine for us. Alright, seems like they're just going to gain 1 life out of Arsenal, which is a kind of hidden mode on Arcane Seeds, which I have not seen, but that's kind of cool. Alright, another Heroic coming in, which they will be able to keep around, but it's only followed up with a Summer's Fall, which should be probably fine for us. Yeah. Oh, do they not want to decompose that? Interesting. They probably do want to decompose just to get some amount of value, right? Like, they're kind of a little bit late here. Okay, yep, seems to make sense. So they're going to get at least 3 decompose, which will not put them online yet, but definitely gets them at least part of the way there. Go ahead and throw Traverse in front of it just so we get our chi. Can we do a double chase here? We could if we pop Pouncing Paws, which we maybe should have done in retrospect. Yeah, the play tonight is a little bit sloppy, but we'll still roll with it. So start with the Harmony. Then maybe we hold back on Kakara in case we need to like discard a Pouncing Key or whatever. Could work. We'll just send some efficient damage here. So I think we'll tutor Chase the Tail and then see what they do. But yeah, we probably missed one value by not blocking with the Pouncing Key earlier. All right, seems like we got a sync, which is pretty good if they're trying to do stuff with Heroic. Again, I think Heroic is pretty cool, but in general, I don't think those lists tend to do better than just normal Florian. All right, coming in for 3. Another sync, pretty decent. I think we will just go for the second Chase the Tail. They might honestly Purgatory this, thinking we have like an aspect in hand, but really all it is just Pouncing Key. Or the Pouncing Paws, rather. And I guess Pouncing Key. Which at this point, if they don't face Purgatory us, we can just Kakara and then send the last Tiger. Should be basically most of the way there. And they're probably not going to get a ton of value out of their Heroic next turn. I think they'll need to give us at least one more card here, because this comes in for 4. I guess they can give us Face Purgatory if they really want, but kind of happy with that also. All right, seems like they may want to hold on to Felling, which is definitely understandable here. All right, coming in with the Rune Rager. I feel like blocking this might honestly be more efficient. We just send like 2 than 5. Seems pretty good. I feel like that hand doesn't convert incredibly well. Because like we just had a bunch of 1 costs and then the levels. I feel like just blocking 6 and then sending 7 is like probably a decent state to be in. All right, go ahead and buff here. Maybe it's up at least a card and a piece of armor here. All right, satisfied with that. It seems like they're just going to grasp this reaping, which is a-okay with me. Now we should be able to wrap this up with just a nice little Transcend hand. What are we putting back in the deck? Probably just a Chase. All right, armor block there makes sense. Put a Chase back in the deck. Send in Kakara. From like the only kind of real opportunities we gave them to use Face Purgatory was I think that E-Strike in the very beginning of the game. I feel like that might have honestly been the move for them. It's kind of hard to know based on what they had, but it definitely seemed like pretty solid. Then here we get sent to 4/5, which is nice. All right, seems good. Block with Plow, send and swipe, and then now we're immune from Face Purgatory once more. All right, they found the window to Face Purgatory, it seems, but maybe slightly too late. They can stay alive here at 1 if they really want to, but they might just opt to kind of close out the game there. Let's see what we're drawing to. We draw another Transcend hand. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, Florian tends to be... I don't think the matchup's that bad if you see Transcend like within the first 4 turns, which you're more than likely to. And I think that the Channel Mount Heroic build is just kind of not as good as normal Florian. I feel like the Florian that's able to like turtle up and just kind of wait for better turns is kind of like a little bit more kind of poised to beat Zen. But I don't think this version of Florian's like unplayable by any means. It might even be like better into some things like Enigma and stuff. But yeah, I've never been like crazy impressed by it. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get one more game. All right, so we got an Aurora here. Let's go second into Aurora. Now we'll bring in our quick dodge. We could obviously get a little bit punished for how we're playing here, or for the quick dodge rather. But we'll bring in all our reacts and then cut our more awkward cards. I think I'm kind of starting to come around to the idea of leaving CNC in if we're running quick dodge. That's definitely something I wanted to test out a little bit more. So we'll cut our kind of like less efficient cards and try to go for it here. So let's see what they got. All right, looks like no combo Aurora this time, which is at least nice. All right, so starting with Entwine, which is not a lightning card, so they can't make an embodiment here. I don't want to just go for max filtering here. Assuming they're not going to have a way to really do much here. So go ahead and just get rid of the Harmony. Drawing the levels is quite nice there. So we get 4 filtering there, which is at least good. Hopefully means we can draw into Transcend. And then maybe they're left with a little bit of a clunky hand. So we can do 2, 3, 5 draw. It's pretty all right. All right, Sigil Suffering getting a good amount of value there. Draw buff. Draw into an aspect, which is kind of whatever. All right, so we've seen 8 cards, no Transcend yet. A little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Yeah, we'll go ahead and arsenal the aspect here. All right, we do find our Transcend with a Wind Chakra, which is quite nice. We do also have the CNC to follow it up as well. Curious why they're running balance. Maybe it's actually for the Aurora Mirror. I could definitely see that. But like Aurora Mirror, you tend to not draw multiple cards, more just like one card off of CLV. So definitely curious. I guess like E-Strike can also be like another source of draw, but it seems like it's maybe not for them here. All right, this seems like the most straightforward like Chase plus Sacred Art hand, and then we Arsenal and CNC. So I think I'm okay with this. All right, let's see if the quick dodge actually ends up getting us a decent amount of value these games, because I've not seen it been like crazy. It's been like 0 for 4 sometimes, but like beyond that, it's not been like incredible. I'll definitely be kind of on the lookout for an opportunity to use it this game though. All right, go ahead and send in Tiger, Chase, Tiger, Aspect. We're probably still just playing out the Aspect just because it's a 0 for 4 this turn. Pretty efficient numbers this turn. Also turning on Traverse is always nice. So I think the race is at least going pretty well this game, and they haven't seen their CLV yet, which is also quite nice for us. All right, they're giving us our armor. That's fine. So armor out of the way is actually a pretty good thing for our CNC next turn, potentially. Definitely curious why they chose now to cash in armor. Ooh, this hand is real nasty. This is a no block this turn type of hand. I think they need to. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they want to do there, but I'll. Yeah. I think they want to let the flittering resolve there and then play out the electrostatic. Sure. Okay with me. Still no CLV, which is quite nice. And Exude is also very okay with us on this hand specifically. Like, this is a no react hand, so we're very fine just taking this. All right, looks like they are going to Tunic for something. Oh, maybe just to make an embodiment. That does make sense. And yeah, I'm not throwing Traverse in front of this here because it's like kind of pointless because we just have the homage anyways. Go ahead and gain a resource and then get a 1 cost here. I guess we'll get the Breed, which is fine-ish. So I think we'll still draw a card here because we're probably gonna go for Arsenal anyways. Yellow Waxon's a pretty decent one. Get to do 3-0-4-1-4 CNC. Pretty okay. And then we just have Traverse kind of loaded up for next turn. Then we should hopefully be stripping some cards here, if not just taking a card out of Arsenal, which I think both are pretty good fail states for us. Or not even a fail state, rather. It's more so just like, I think I'm fine taking either 2 cards or 1 card and dealing 6 damage. Seems like it's gonna maybe be the latter. Alright, taking a Flicker Wisp from them should be quite good. And we kind of just keep drawing Transcend here, which is really nice. Alright, it seems like they do have the Arc Lightning, which unfortunately we cannot pay on our current configuration. But, like, it's still kind of inefficient to pay for it anyways. Arc Lightning, I think, is one of the more efficient things that you can pay AB into, but, like, in general against Aurora, it's almost, like, super inefficient to just pay in the first place. So here, we have a couple things we could do. Probably do want to throw Traverse in front of something eventually, so maybe this is the opportunity, and then we just save this for, like, Snatch or whatever. And then we just try to, like, dump hand next turn. I think that's fine. Grab our Chi. Could even be correct to make it, like, block 4 there, make a Zen state, because that probably soaks up, like, 3 damage. Or, like, 5 damage plus the Kasaya, but I guess that's okay. We're probably not going to Kasaya this turn, because I don't think they can kill us here. Alright, Starfall block is fine. Again, we're probably just going to... If they Arsenal here, we're fine with it. If they don't Arsenal here, we're also kind of fine. Alright, that's what we saved our block for, so... Glad I tried to play around Snatch at least a little bit. And the Quick Dodge, unfortunately, just have not been needed this game. But that's how it goes, I guess, some games. Let's play out Harmony for the hell of it, I guess. Alright, we'll get at least +1 damage out of that, so it's fine. Go ahead and get, probably... Do we still have that breed? No, we used the breed. So we can maybe get just a swipe here is probably okay. It might have just been, like, safer to not go for that, but it seems like they maybe don't have a hand that blocks incredibly well. I guess they have, like, Shelter. Their hand blocks, like, fine, but maybe just doesn't really get there just because it's kind of a mid-Aurora hand if they have a CLV out already, to be honest. Alright, but that was, I guess, an okay game to end on. Again, I've been trying to practice for the PQ+, so I don't know if this deck is going to be legal. What is my estimation of I guess if it's going to be legal or not? I think it's a 50-50 whether or not Zen makes it to Pro Tour London, and then I think it's like 0% after that. So I don't know. I'm putting it at a 50-50 of whether it's next week or Pro Tour London week that he leaves, which means we have 2 weeks of Zen left, which is very, very sad. We'll miss our boy dearly, but we also have Jarl as kind of our backup in case we need him. But yeah, I'm definitely going to miss this deck at some point, although I will say it does get a little bit boring resolving Chase the Tail sometimes. So I think that's probably going to wrap it up for today. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. And a special thank you to all the folks who decided it would be a good idea to give us $2 on Patreon. We really appreciate the support, but it's obviously never required.